communication, the back and forth with the nurse, we asked the nurse, what was your understanding of what the deaf woman said? You know what the nurse said? She said, the deaf woman said she's had a running stomach for 3 days. Imagine, you've come to the hospital to get contraceptives. You are rather giving medicine for diarrhea. This deaf woman will go back home, still have sex with the husband, and get pregnant again. And she will not believe in contraceptives. She would narrate and tell that story to her peers. What will happen to all the efforts we are making? Zero. They will never believe that. I don't think this is what we want to do. And I'll hand over to my colleague Yannick to tell us what to expect in the next few hours or minutes.
Que l'ISFP 2025 touche à sa fin, impossible de ne pas évoquer la voix puissante de la communauté francophone en général et ivoirienne en particulier, qui s'est exprimée avec force et clarté tout au long de cette rencontre mondiale. Des organisations comme le partenariat de Ouagadougou ou encore les jeunes membres de la communauté aussi ont tenu des sessions d'une richesse incroyable centrée sur les défis.
Now we're trying to find that richness on education and on West Africa. So we have to remember how the French population is clear against this judgment here in Bogotá. So in this conference, we are together and we gather so many leaders from the entire world. We need to find their commitment regarding this subject. We were able to see the movement on sexual education, how it is making progress, and it taught many languages. And we are proud to also speak languages. And we await for the next session, and now we're going to speak with these wonderful women. Thank you very much for all the people. We see really many differences. I would like to know how we're going to guide these conversations. We are really pleased because we want to learn about her story. I was able to meet Alba 1 year ago. That was just a work meeting, we can say, but there was really some support of people who understand. She had her segment some days ago, and I remember that David said, Alba is just one of those persons that arrives to a room, and with her presence, she transforms and provides help and support. My name is Diana. I am pleased to interview you. I would like to talk about suicide. I know that we got together last year. I know that you had an uncle that committed suicide, and that's something that we discussed. So I wanted to talk about the subject on prevention, especially the way we see it in adolescents and young people. Natalia, thank you very much. Thank you for your warm invitation. Yes, talking about suicide in the world is necessary. Talking about what we must prevent, not talk to talk. When the situation has happened, life gave me this turn of 180 degrees and understanding shift from where I live with my son because of discrimination for sexual orientation, but through the years that it has been, in fact, many years working on prevention with children and adolescents and having the only prevention line of youngsters, we now consider 16,000 young people. Makes us think that we need to get together much more to see which are those deep causes that today they have in our beings and that maybe are hidden under the numbers of everything. You know, They commit suicide because of couple problems, because of economic issues, or there are different ideas of suicide for many factors. We need to pinpoint, we need to look deeper on what happens with their bodies, what happens in the environment, because mental health has to be worked in different angles. Naturally, but beyond that, what happens with the human being? What happens? What happens here? So in the line, we have been able to relieve the load on the first lines by they have been attacked and they do not know what to do when they're alone with their peers. They could be run out by a car in this or in attacked in an environment, or because there are political critical thoughts. As Sergio was discriminated, he was very political and he talked about gender and diversity and precisely those reproductive rights, and still we see those messages of hate in the media. That's a place where we cannot escape. So I think that talking about mental health and going through all the subjects of fundamental rights is necessary to put that flag and to say why not? Why not talking about mental health and what is happening in the world, because that's the second cause of mortality, and sometimes we just ignore that, and behind that there could be one person who is suffering. Thank you, Alba, for your comments. I think that it is important to be able to link sexual mental health and sexual and reproductive health. Now, considering the financing cuts that we are experiencing in the sector, there are many people that do not have access. So talking about mental health and suicide, that's the first step to open a conversation so everyone can know before they make any decision. Yes, it is really essential to see this from different angles. When we talk about that place where we are born, we need to be careful. Starting from education, here we have mental health, because when we have those barriers and if there is no humanity of services for LGBTIQ plus people, then how a person is treated in a medical office, it's completely different. There is no knowledge on how to work with a trans or gay person. They do not know how to handle the person, how to make the evaluation. Or it could be a different gender orientation. So we need to locate her precisely in her request, in what she needs, not only from the biological side, but from her humanity. And that's the most difficult part that we are missing in medical services, to see the human being without a label. And that's precisely to sensitize the teams, to educate even in universities, because I think that we are missing to work on suicide prevention, and we need to work it from different angles, and we have to forget that is just going to therapy from all the angles. And what you say, funds are not enough for those that work in mental health, and it's really essential that we have to consider maybe something unleashed a bit, unleash these concepts where we have worked like in our foundation, Sergio Urrego. Thank you, Alba. This is a perfect moment to give visibility to the important work that you do. I think that horrible things that happen, you were able to flourish like a butterfly. And I think that you and the foundation, Sergio Urrego, have become a safe place for all the adolescents, for a regional.
Con todo lo que tenemos que hacer, Albita, yo creo que de todo corazón para todos los jóvenes
We need to continue working. You are an icon of hope for a safe place for people, and that we achieve more prevention together. I admire you, I love you, and I really think that you are using this platform. I really appreciate the trust of this lecture, of this interview, and let's continue together. Thank you to this accompaniment, and thank you for giving our voice to many people that precisely need to raise their voice. And maybe they are hidden in silence or crying in silence, and for that we have the Foundation Sergio Urrego. We have the hotline, salvation line. There is a person that knows how to listen to you, and that they know what you are feeling, and they will be with you. So a warm greeting to you all, and all those wonderful beings that are listening, because you are not alone. In the Foundation Sergio Urrego, anyone can help. Now we are going to our friend Sofia. She is going to take over the next segment. Thank you very much. Thank you for this space, and welcome all to our last edition of Profa in Minutes in ICFP 2025. My name is Sofia Moncayo, and today we close with many experiences this wonderful space, but also with a lot of commitment to continue working together in favor of sexual and reproductive rights. These have been days of exchanges of information, of building new alliances, and even though this conference is coming to an end, I am sure that all the lectures are going to serve to create new opportunities so that more girls, children, and adolescents that are harmed in their rights can have access. I would like to start this first segment by giving my first top 4 of panels or spaces where conversations were very important and relevant. As you know, we have different panels and scientific presentations that remind us why this is so very important space, and I think it's really in agreement with what we are talking about now. We had the participation of UDBA, Pathfinder International, and others, and this specific session showed us how to transform these policies and how to create new things to allow more people to have access without barriers and save respectively. Another one with these word sessions, I have adolescents and youth, current change led by ICFP 2030. And also we highlighted the main character of youth to build something that is really astonishing. I also have market funding and security. We had Calculation Services International. They talk about how to strengthen the alliances and above all how to reach easier and more effectively to organizations that require funding. And because of the ride that we have had, I think that's a conversation which is really relevant. All these spaces show the need and necessary conversations that must happen in this space. So now I give the space to other topics. I think that we have very important reflections, and I feel proud as a Colombian woman of saying that Colombia is and will be a very important referent on sexual and reproductive rights in Latin America, considering inclusive rights, more accessible services, and our country demonstrated how rights can be transformed to a collective action where all Latin America is present, and of naturally other countries. Seeing so many people in Agora really reminds me how proud I feel to be part of an organization such as Pro Familia, and to see how my country is still a reference. Today we close our ICFP with our heart full of gratitude. Thank you ICFP 2025 for choosing Colombia as the epicenter of 2020 for this to be this center. Each of these corners was full of knowledge with the intention of transforming the world. This event also gave us a very important task, and that is to continue helping to guarantee access, to continue being the center of the conversation. This was Profa Minutos special edition for ICFP, and remember that if you were not able to see our videos, you can find all the recordings in YouTube channel of Family Planning in all our web pages. Please do not forget all the spaces that we have in the different meetings and naturally in the live stage. Thank you for all the people that got together with us. We'll see you in our next edition of ICSP. Thank you very much.